I write books. Writing my 6th right now. Comes out in the fall.
Your 6th book?
6th book, yeah. Wrote PR for Dummies, which Harris loves to talk about the most, I guess. Wrote a book on leadership, which was my biggest seller, and I run Ericho Communications, which is a PR consulting firm.
Did you? We all live in Westchester.
Yeah, we're all neighbors. We could have commuted in this morning.
You know, I'm a little disturbed about this. That all three of you are neighbors and none of you carpool.
I don't know that.
But that's it. But I mean, and you do this. So there's a question. Did you see what Buffett said this past weekend?
Yeah.
About well, one of the lines that I thought was kind of funny was he said, if your IQ is 150, sell 30 points. You only need to be 120. If you can't understand the basics, you know, that's all you need to understand. And there's so much psychology involved in. Do we feel good or do we? Are we?
And when you feel good, oh, it's down 30%, but I think it's down 50%, so I'm going to wait.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, where people got into trouble is everybody borrowed against their houses.
Yeah.
As the values appreciated, everybody got wealthy on paper, and
that's why no one has any money anymore, right?
But Eric, I want to change the subject and ask you a quick question. I see from your resume that you've appeared on CBS This Morning and on the Today Show. Is that true?
I've been on both, yeah.
Which is better, those two or this one? This show?
I swear to God, and I know every time I say this,
I got him on this side. Okay.
No one else is going to book me because I say this every time I'm here. I do this show on the same day repeatedly that I will do other networks, and I get more of a response from the show.
Do you really?
Yeah. Now, usually it's not very favorable about me, but I do get more of a response.
We have great viewers.
And you know what I love?
There.
That's what I love about. I am, my politics are left, I'm a Democrat, and Fox wants me back again and again to sit in the room with usually people that don't agree with me, and I think that that's a great thing about this network.
I agree. It's steroid use in the past?
Yeah, you know, these guys, they walk a fine line between what's their, public image, what they're supposed to do and say, and whether or not they're going to end up in court. So they need advice from two people. They need advice from the PR person or the communications, the person in charge of their image, and they need legal advice. And they're always contrary. The lawyer says say nothing. The PR person or the communications person says no, say everything. Everybody, this country, if you screw up and you say, I screwed up, I'm sorry, I'm going to change, we love that. Everybody, we love a comeback.
Yeah.
But, the longer you don't, so I would address the book if I'm him. He plays for the New York Yankees. Every single day there's cameras all over them. Yeah. They're going to ask these questions the entire year. He should address the questions at the beginning of the season once. That should be it.
But he did that, and he apparently wasn't completely honest, which a lot of people suspected. If this book is true, is accurate, he came out and he did it. He's like, okay, I'm going to do an interview. I'm going to do a press conference.
Oh, was that when he was crying? That one?
Yeah, and he admitted to using steroids for a 3-year period when this book suggests that he did it for many more years than that, including taking HGH with the Yankees.
The problem with him is the reason that it can't get checked at the door for a while is he's not genuine. He's not authentic. I mean, people don't like him. The worst time, who said this? Elizabeth Dole, when she was running the Red Cross, said the worst time to ask for advice is, when the levees are breaking. A-Rod decided that baseball doesn't speak for him anymore. Now a lot of other things do. Nobody liked him, except that he hit home runs and he won games, so everybody forgave him. Except
when it mattered.
What's that?
Except when it mattered.
Well, yeah, well, hey,
hey,
likewise. But if they win a World Series, a lot will be forgotten. If they don't, we're going to hear this all year.
Unfortunately, I mean, how can you really get to the bottom of any of this? Because they lie, they tell the truth, they don't tell the truth. But what's unfortunate is when they have all these. What position?
What position do I play?
I'm going to guess.
Center.
Yeah, center. That's the point guard right there.
I play point guard, yes.
All right, that's the point guard. You can always spot a point guard.
And I'm very old now.
How many points did you get last night?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask that.
Hey, the point guard directs the offense. It's not about the points.
Thank you.
The Supreme Court.
I think that, obviously, you guys know me. I'm petrified. I'd like to be on this panel once with somebody who doesn't have a gun.
No,
I'm kidding.
But it's your choice. I mean,
no,
I'm not strapping.
Okay. But, I mean, look at, you talk about what Obama has on his agenda. He's not getting, legalization of marijuana or gun control. He's got so many more.
Well, you could get to that in the next year or two.
Don't underestimate him.
That guy's got so many balls that he's juggling right now.
And that's the point. They got more than enough.
That's why I'm saying I hope they don't add on.
This is my job. I can't even keep up.
That they're juggling?
I don't know how the guy sleeps. I mean,
I bet
he needs 27 hours a day. I don't know how he does it.
I believe he will get to it.
I think he will.
I think you're right, and it's going to happen.
Going to get to it and do what?
He's going to start proposing
more.
You wouldn't have any bullets now if you
well, I would have unloaded them all.
I got to tell you, she's holding the gun. I'm not asking whether there's any
a
bullets.
lot of training.
Hey,
Hey,
Straka, when you get a minute.
You have to go for training. You got to be licensed. You have to have.
People is, in general, is under extraordinary circumstances.
Right.
You're cutting back all the pretense. Doesn't matter what you want to be. That
people
always.
feel boxed in, don't have any options.
An entire career of doing crisis PR, and literally, I mean, metaphorically speaking, being in the middle of a fire and actually enjoying it, and people knowing that, gosh, this guy seems comfy in here, and walk out behind him. Most people in the middle of a fire act completely different. And you cannot teach that. It's instinctual. Right. So people are under extraordinary pressure right now, and you're going to hear stories like that, and they're very, very sad.
And also uprisings, I think, too.
Well, what do you mean by that? Now that sounds scary.
Great, with the woman who can't get the bullets. Great.
I've been reading a number of different things.
You never even asked me. I'm with the one
I was going to ask you.
Oh, sure.
Bill, you have my word.
This,
Well, yeah, that's the extreme situations. But if you think about like managers, it was one of the books I did was on leadership, and the CEOs who were empathetic, who had the ability to look at life through the other person's lens, that's the kind of person that, I mean, they actually inspired you. They didn't buy your love. They earned it. It's just a respect. You can't, you're not gifted it.
Entrepreneurs have been like that.
Well, that's also, it's funny you said, because now with, the generation born virtual with a mouse in their hand, that's all about transparency and authenticity and peer-to-peer. They don't want to hear from, dad or the adults. They want to hear from their peers, unfiltered, hopefully that generation will grow up a little bit different. Because, before I sold my agency, we were the 11th ranked agency in the country to work for. That's what I was most proud of. I know everything else that we did a lot of good stuff, but a good place to work for, like that to me was, because the people actually mattered.
Yeah.
And in the service business, the holy grail is the people, not
That's top down right there.
Absolutely,
I worked across the street, and it was not a happy place to be.
It is. It's top down, absolutely.
And this is, you mentioned that is going to be very positive, actually.
Yeah, but this isn't also, I mean, this might be oversimplifying, but I kind of come from a school that, I'm going to do unto others as I'd like them to do. That's just me. Right. If everybody was like that, wouldn't it, don't we all just want that? Like, treat me with the same respect I treat you. If we all did that, life would be a lot easier. I actually...
If you treat people
well, I don't know. I feel like I'm in a very fortunate position. Yes, if you treat people well, but being in a very fortunate position in life right now, that I worked very hard to do, but it's not as if I'm prancing through a very difficult time saying, what do I care? I actually care a lot about what happens to everybody, and will give back everything that I've ever made in order to help, if I can.
Good.
As long as I can take
I want to
care of
get to
my
a couple
family,
emails real quick. The assault weapon question inspired a lot of replies.
Is that
I
right?
talk about that in my book, too. No.
Do you? The argument, and Bill in New York City summed it up very, very cleanly. The argument for assault weapons,